We interact with massive corporate empires every single day. We tap their search bars, we load up their shopping carts, and we line up for their morning coffee, assuming their business models are completely obvious to us. Taking these companies at face value creates a massive blind spot regarding how they actually generate their billions. The coffee you sip or the app you scroll often functions as a high-value lure designed to move you into a much larger invisible ecosystem. We are going to peel back the consumer facade of the world's most powerful empires, revealing the hidden insights that built them. In 1994, Jeff Bezos quit a comfortable Wall Street job to sell books out of a Seattle garage. He had no particular love for literature. Books were simply cheap, uniformly sized, and virtually infinite in variety. They were the perfect low-cost starting point to test out online retail. His true ambition was to replace every physical retail store on Earth. To achieve that, Amazon's retail business barely made a profit for its first decade because Bezos was reinvesting every cent back into the company. While millions of people were entirely focused on clicking the digital shopping cart, Amazon was quietly building AWS. They constructed a massive server architecture underneath the storefront and began renting out that raw computing power to other businesses. Today, Netflix runs on Amazon servers. The CIA uses them. NASA stores its data on them. Roughly a third of the entire modern internet sits on infrastructure Bezos built, leaving the shopping platform as a secondary gateway to their true business. You can see the exact same blind spot back in 1980, when IBM needed an operating system for their new personal computer. IBM thought the physical machine was the prize. Bill Gates realized that physical hardware eventually gets copied and drops in value. If you control the software layer that the machine requires to run, you collect a toll on every single computer sold globally without having to manufacture a single piece of plastic. Larry Ellison applied this exact strategy when he read a theoretical research paper published and then ignored by IBM. He used that theoretical framework to build Oracle's relational database software, a system so essential that it permanently embedded itself into the world's banks, defense agencies, and global governments. Selling machines or novels provided the initial entry point, but the true wealth comes from collecting a digital toll on the world's most critical infrastructure. Howard Schultz walked into an espresso bar in Milan in 1983 and noticed people lingering for hours. He realized America lacked a comfortable third place for people to exist between their home and their workplace. That warm aesthetic of cozy seating and seasonal drinks is the facade. Underneath the surface, the Starbucks loyalty app holds billions of dollars in prepaid customer balances at any given moment. Customers load money onto their phones before placing an order. That unspent cash sits in Starbucks' accounts as a massive financial float. By holding on to billions before pouring coffee, Starbucks functions as an enormous, unregulated bank, generating interest-free capital to fund its expansion. Over in the fashion industry, the standard timeline to design and sell a piece of clothing was a lumbering 6 months. Zara threw out that calendar entirely and built a frantic manufacturing cycle that gets a new design into stores in exactly 2 weeks. Once those clothes hit the racks, the shelves are deliberately kept half empty. This engineered scarcity creates a severe fear of missing out, forcing customers to buy immediately because they know the item won't be there the next time they visit. Phil Knight's partner famously poured liquid rubber into his wife's waffle iron to create a lighter, more aggressive grip. But Nike's real growth occurred when they stopped marketing the technical specs of rubber and foam and began selling the just do it philosophy. The shoe became a badge of discipline, a promise that wearing the brand connected the consumer to the best version of themselves. While consumers focus on the product in their hand, the business relies on the engineered scarcity of a store layout or the emotional weight of a brand identity. Google provides a highly efficient search bar, but Google is an advertising company, and that search bar is simply the bait to draw your eyes. 2 Stanford students realized that a web page was trustworthy if other pages linked to it. Once millions of people relied on that simple insight to find information, Google let advertisers pay to appear at the very top of those results, spinning up over $200 billion a year. Mark Zuckerberg initially built a digital directory of university students in a single weekend. He then weaponized human psychology by engineering every like, comment, and notification into a tiny repeating dopamine hit that users found impossible to ignore. That loop is so fiercely effective that Meta now commands the daily attention of more than half the human population every single month. Jan Koum bypassed international telecom fees by building WhatsApp, allowing users to send unlimited global messages over standard internet data for a flat fee of exactly $1 a year. The app generated almost no revenue, yet in 2014, Facebook bought it for $19 billion. They paid that astronomical sum because WhatsApp completely owned the daily, intimate communication habits of 1 billion people. When a service costs nothing, the user's attention and daily habits become the primary commodity being harvested for profit. Designing a superior physical product is a relic of the past. Building a modern trillion-dollar empire demands an approach that goes much deeper. To reach monopoly scale today, you have to execute one of two strategies. You either hack global infrastructure to create inescapable architectural dependency, or you hack the human mind to create a lasting psychological dependency. So the next time you tap a digital shopping cart, click a search result, or load money for coffee, take a second to look past the decoy and ask yourself what invisible system you are truly feeding.